everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of You Get What You Get. I'm here with Ricky Hampton, here with my great friends, Tree McDougal and Tim Turner, coming to you on a Tuesday evening. Hope everybody had a great weekend as we start this new week. Good to see my friends Tim and Tree. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great.
Excellent, sir.
I do have one question because I need your opinion on something. So, we were talking earlier before we started the show about style, and we don't have the video or anything tonight. So I want to get your opinion on these reading glasses. I feel like I look like Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould.
And
Tree, you can make anything look good.
I don't think so. I'm thinking about sending them back. It seems a little too big. What do you think?
Yeah, you look like the lady off of The Incredibles. No capes.
No, I was thinking Elliot Gould and what's the movie with the
Ocean's 11?
Yes.
Yeah.
What movie did you say?
Ocean's 11. Elliot Gould.
No, I'm just like yay or nay. I just need before I send them back.
Tree,
okay, that's one. Ricky?
Tree, you can work anything.
That's kind of you, but okay, we'll move on.
Eyes are oversized.
What?
Eyes are oversized. You're like Mickey Rooney in that old movie where he played the Japanese man, and that was racist.
It was racist. Yeah, I'm just like, they're so huge. I'm like, okay, back.
But Tree, talk about style. I'm loving that tee you have on tonight.
Thank you. It's where I got my undergraduate degree from. UNC Greensboro. The Spartans.
Yes. That is so cool.
Not to be confused with UNC Chapel Hill.
The world-renowned house is in the house.
Be around renowned. How come? Never mind. Go on.
Hey, before we start, I do want to give a shout out. Passing of a legendary radio broadcaster, coach in the Washington, D.C. area, friend of many shows I've done, James Butch McAdams, Hall of Fame coach in Washington, D.C., passed away unexpectedly over the weekend. So our prayers and condolences to the McAdams family. And it's a big loss for the D.C. and Baltimore area. One of the things he was great at, Tree and Tim, was talking about the history of the local sports teams there, which Tim, is all but lost now.
Absolutely.
In your local papers. Fortunately, most papers still cover high school, but not even high school sports. Around here in the Detroit area gets the coverage that it once did. So definitely a shout out to Coach McAdams and prayers and condolences to his family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking about newspapers. Somebody said that a third of the papers since 2000 have closed. And, there's talking about, and I think it was an NPR commercial about being local and local news. And, you can't keep a tab on your local officials.
Right.
If there's nothing to keep a tab on per se. So it is really shocking and stunning. I keep thinking about all the different buildings that I used to work in that are no more. Newspapers, the Houston Chronicle building is no more. The Jackson Sun building in Jackson, Tennessee is no more. The Orlando Sentinel building is no more. These people have consolidated and moved into floors, like a single floor of some high rise or some building, and that is really scary.
Yeah, same here. In downtown Detroit, the Free Press building is now, I think Rocket Mortgage might be in there. And it was a grand old building too, man, with a Free Press of Detroit News. And now it may be some offices to Rocket Mortgage, which is out of Detroit, with Dan Gilbert, who was the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cavaliers, right?
Yeah, it is out of here. Yes, they're gone. I mean, I can't even tell you last time I read a newspaper in my hand. I mean,
I can. I would say it was 2019, not that long ago.
yeah.
Yeah, but after, yeah, they would just pile up at my doorstep, and when I moved to Savannah,
You
and
just
they had to
cancel.
sign up, and I was like, okay, we just keep getting these newspapers, and you can get news faster and hopefully more accurate, online, which is a sad state of, print journalism. It's just kind of
Yeah, because everybody thinks they're a journalist, and everybody thinks that the stuff that they consume is the gospel. And you get there where you get in your own little ecosystems and how you get fed information. There are people on the right politically who only look at right outlets, and the people on the left only on left content, and they can't differentiate when they're being fed a load. That's why you try to find people that are down the middle, which is increasingly more difficult. Finding people that are more difficult. It makes me think of an election year. One year when I was at a newspaper, and there was they had to have a staff meeting because the paper's editorial board picked, I think, George Bush as the guy the paper was going to endorse. And the newsroom was in an uproar because it's like all the liberals there wanted them to endorse Kerry, which I thought was just crazy. It's like, why are we doing this?
Right.
It's that kind of thing where they try to follow the editorial page, and I don't think those endorsements mean anything anyway. But nonetheless, folks took it really seriously.
Yeah.
Just a name drop. Was that when you were at the Chronicle in Houston?
No, that was in Columbus. And Houston Chronicle was a staunch right-wing paper.
Yeah.
Forever and a day, it reflexively endorsed all GOP candidates.
Yeah.
Because it was big money. The Chronicle was big money. The Post was the upstart liberal paper.
But then GOP then was different than what it is today.
Absolutely. It
Back
was.
in you olden days of.
Back in the day, George Bush was looked at as the Antichrist back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Compared to what the recent iterations of these people are. My goodness.
Really. Yeah.
So what's happening in sports, guys?
Hey, it's going to be a lot of rich young men and
a lot of rich young men and a lot of bad suits tomorrow night.
and about what we got 23 hours from now, and everything starts with the Atlanta Hawks.
I love the suits. I always watch for the suits.
Jalen Rose, when his red pinstripe that year, he was picked in the first round. Can't top that. Cannot top it.
I don't know. I wish we had a picture of it. I'll look it up.
Yeah, that was quite stunning. There's gonna be some rich guys, and the consensus here in town is, they're gonna screw it up. Whatever they do, they're gonna screw it up because they're talking about the SAR guy, they're talking about his teammate, and then all of a sudden this kid from Connecticut is sliding into their favor, and it's like, no, I don't want any part of that. But yeah, he's being talked about.
So who do you think? Okay, this SARS guy. Talk a little bit about him, and then who do you think should be there? What do you think the direction of the Hawks should be?
I think it should be SARS because he has the most upside. He can grow with whatever iteration of the team that the Hawks have. Because I'm not sold on the Hawks keeping Trae Young tomorrow. I'm not sold.
Don't you think they will?
It would be my hope that they would not, and they'd package him and get another pick in the first round. And do something like that. Trade him to somebody who probably wants or needs a guard. Maybe I don't know who would be down there, but down in the 20s, trade him and get some assets because they only have a first round pick and they mortgage their future. They won't have anything close to a first round pick or anything like this for several years. So they got a hit on this pick.
But you say they probably will not.
But you're right. They will not.
You don't think so? They're not going to extend Trae Young.
They probably extend him just for the sake of being able to say, okay, you guys know what you're getting. Whoever trades him knows this is his contract, and then you got to make the numbers match. Which has always been interesting to me in the NBA. When they make trades, they have to make the financials work. It's like if you trade one cat for like $1 million and he's going to get two guys back, they're going to have to be around $500 grand a piece or something like that. I mean, that's really simplistic. But I know a lot of times I used to sit in the newsroom watching our NBA beat guy go over trades that made sense, but they didn't make sense financially for either team. So the monies have to match in addition to the talent match, which has been screwy to me. But that's how they do it in basketball, or how they used to do it in basketball. Now.
So I shouldn't rush out and get Hawks season tickets or anything.
You can rush out and get Hawks season tickets because I think the line's going to be short. So you'll be able to get in there and get your seat.
I didn't see that coming.
That'll be right there.
Right.
But the thing is, there was in the past couple of weeks, they've had a audio tape of Mark Cuban explaining how they got Luka Doncic from the Hawks. And it was the owners. It was a conversation on the phone between the owners. Cuban called the Hawks owner and negotiated, circumvented the front office people. And that's how it happened.
I mean, if you're the owner, can't you do that?
Stay in your lane. Your job is just to write checks.
I'm just saying,
Write checks and sit courtside and clap. Beyond that, you should have no, everybody tries to think they're Jerry Jones, just meddling and stuff. Those guys are supposed to be experts, and they're the ones that go to all the camps, and they have the international scouting. They go to the combines. They're the ones that are supposed to be knowledgeable. So
that's a no. So that's a no.
No. All this stuff is a vanity play.
Wow.
That's all it is. When you own a team, it's not for you to get it. Well, I kind of like look at Magic kind of side eye when he makes comments about the Washington Redskins or Washington Commanders. He's a part owner of that, and he's made public comments about the team. It's like, Magic, you just bought into the team ownership group, so you need to just like pump your brakes there, sir.
I feel like if it's my team, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But if it's my team, then it's my money.
and then you know what? And that is pretty much how it's rolling. And it's my money, and that's why Luka Doncic is killing it in Dallas. And we got an undersized point guard in Atlanta who likes to throw up 3-pointers, and they have not won with this man. So
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that piece of it, but I'm just saying.
But I get your point. It's like it's my toy. Can I play with it a little? Is what you're pretty much saying.
Move my Legos around, please.
Exactly. So I think that's that I want to see what they do tomorrow night. You're right. There are going to be a lot of rich young men tomorrow night. There are going to be a lot of disappointed fans. There's these watch parties that are going on in and around town here tomorrow. Because I was at the watch party when they picked Luka and then traded him away and said that night that it was a mistake. But
did you say openly or just like mumble under your breath?
I was like, I audibly gasped and said, "What are they doing?"
What year was that? What year was that?
About 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said, this is stupid. I said, this boy's been playing against grown men since he was 16. And he's ready, as opposed to this other guy who played at Oklahoma against, college competition. I mean, granted, Trazen is really a good basketball player. He's really very good. He just hasn't been what the Hawks need at point. They can find a point guard. You can shake a tree and find a point guard that can do what he does.
What about his support players?
That's where I want them to pick this SARS guy to have a support player. DeJounte Murray is great. They got a kid, Johnson, that's come on this year, really been really good. They got a kid, Hunter, that has been like his second year in the league. He really hasn't. He's good, but he's not great. The Hawks need great, and so we need to start working to that end.
We do need great. I say we because I'm a bandwagoner, but I'm still on the Celtics train.
Speaking of which, their little thing was on the other night. That was interesting. Their parade. That is incredible. That how that happened with those guys. it's a friend of mine, well, my boss was talking about how they really have lost count of all the awards that they've won in Boston. This is their 18th NBA title. They've got so many Stanley Cup titles, and they got Super Bowl titles. One of them they didn't earn, but I won't even go into that one. The Patriots, when the Falcons had their chance to do their thing, they have all and the Red Sox were winners until recently. So that's another aspect of it. So we'll be interested to see how the NBA draft is going to shake out. I mean, there was a mock draft on the NBA.com where they have the Hawks taking Alexander Sarr, which I'm excited about that.
What excites you about him?
Well, like I said, he has incredible upside. He's going to grow. He's a great outside 3-point shooter. And the deal is now you got these big guys that can pull up and hit those threes like that. I look at Wembayama, this guy that just picked last year from France, and he can handle the ball at over 7 feet, handle the ball, shoot the three. He blocks everything in the area code. So I'm looking for somebody like that because this kid, what is Sarr? He is 7 feet tall, and you can't teach 7 feet tall. You can teach everything else, but you can't teach that. And if you want, height. You can write that down. You cannot teach height.
Not teach height.
We work with that one. This is Reed Shepard from Kentucky. It's going number 3. They're talking about number 2 is Ricasa. I can't think of his name. Rakacher. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, and I didn't want to screw it up.
That's between the two that the Hawks are supposed to be dealing with, but then they went crazy with and interjected a kid that's out of UConn that I don't think is should be even in their realm of thinking. So I hope that they make the right choices, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And you just hopefully glad that this draft won't be overshadowed. It's going to happen over 2 nights, tomorrow night and Thursday night, and then you have Thursday night, the second half of the draft, to be overshadowed by goings on here in Atlanta, where you have the first presidential debate here in town.
Is that on Thursday or Wednesday? Tomorrow?
Thursday night, the 27th.
Hey, yes. Let me ask you this before you jump to that. So I was thinking about looking at the draft, potential draft picks. And then one of the things that stood out to me, which is probably no surprise to you and perhaps others, it's just so many of them are, like freshmen, status freshmen coming out of their, after their freshman year. And I know they can, but what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a gamble up high, unless the guy is just outstanding. It's a gamble to be up there.
Welcome back, Rick, by the way.
we're having storms here. I kind of lost my
okay. So where we are right now, I was asking him about all the draft picks that he talked about. Why are your lips moving, but I don't hear anything?
That was nothing. Keep going.
Oh, and I was asking Tim at this juncture of our show about how you see so many of the draft picks coming out in their after their freshman year of college, and what was his opinion on that? So go on.
Oh, I was just thinking it's a gamble up high unless it's like it's a superstar type ball player. And I'm trying to think the last person I saw like that, I think he was a freshman, was Anthony Edwards out of Georgia. I did not see any of that while he was playing for the Bulldogs, but he was opted to the NBA draft, and I thought that was a mistake because, gosh, he didn't look all that hot in college, which is why I do this and why there are other general managers who get paid to pick people.
And they still get it wrong. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the NBA draft and the baseball draft are two of the hardest to figure out. I mean, right here in Detroit, we had the number 1 pick in the draft a couple of years ago, Spencer Torkelson, who's now in Toledo.
Spencer Torkelson.
He was can't miss, but it's just hard. And basketball is the same way. You know, if
Well,
you
see,
get a
he takes it back.
Wimbiana, you get a Wimbiana or somebody like that. But like this draft, Tim, I mean, everybody's saying whether you got the number 1 or number 8, you're really getting the same guy.
You pretty much are, which is, you know, why people are so wedded and beholden to the first pick. It very likely the Hawks could trade the first pick. It may do something like that, trade down and pick up more, and let somebody else, you know, deal with the head. Is this SAR?
Yeah, this is some tape of Sar, who could be going in the first round. Nice block there. I mean, this thing is really just, hey, who can do some great scouting and find some gems in there? But this guy definitely has ability.
Absolutely.
And Trae Young's a good passer, Tim.
Yeah. I hope they like that in Cleveland. If they keep him, I'll be fine. But if they trade him, it won't make me cry. It's like they've lost with him. They can lose, you know, they can lose without him. So that's the way I look at it. When you're on a team that has underachieved mightily over the past couple of years, which is why there's a general malaise here about that. Folks are when it rolls over to July on Monday, minds will all turn to football. The Hawks will be an afterthought. So they have their little piece in the sun right now.
And I want to be excited about the Hawks, and I haven't been, but it looks exciting.
And if they pick him, because I think he's great. I think he'd be great for the team. I would be excited about the team too. I would not be bringing up all the missteps that they've had over the years.
Yeah, you will.
I did not know until I read the Sunday paper here that the Hawks actually drafted Pau Gasol and traded him draft day to Memphis for Abdul Rauf Sharif or something. Sharif Abdul Rahim is his name.
Yeah. Who has
he's an Atlanta kid. It was really talented, and it was a really good ball player.
Yeah.
But Pau Gasol is now in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I think Sharif might have been murdered, as a matter of fact.
Who might have been murdered?
Sharif Abdul Rahim. I think
I think that's the other kid out of Memphis, Tim.
Okay.
Who I can't think of now.
Okay. But I'm just saying he's not either way, dead or alive, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Or Paul Gasol is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I don't know how to clean that up, but okay. Moving on.
Yeah, and they whiffed on Chris Paul. They had a chance to get him in the first one.
Yeah.
But I was along with that because I saw Chris Paul step on a kid's chest during the ACC tournament, and I said, I would not draft a knucklehead. That kid will never make it. Here he is going into his 20th NBA season.
So you can't trust your judgment and picks.
Exactly. That's what I'm like, which is why they do what they do and why I don't do that.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough. Did you guys talk about the Lakers hiring JJ Redick?
Not
yet. Go on.
Did that actually happen?
It is official, yeah, because he had a press conference, right?
Yeah.
He said he don't give a damn what y'all. Well, actually, say he don't give a f what y'all think.
On a live.
And honestly, I mean, it sounds arrogant, but that has to be his attitude.
Yeah. After a while, you get kind of tired of people saying he don't have no experience. He don't have no experience, and it's true.
But Tim, you did a good job coming up with notes on guys. He is not the first to step in there like that.
No.
Go through your list.
Yeah. What was it? Steve Kerr was one of the guys that did that.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Fisher, the Knicks. I don't think he had much success.
Right. So go back. So when you talk about each one, their records.
Oh gosh. Let me look here.
Well, Steve Nash was 94 and 67 in Brooklyn,
Right.
with 2 playoff appearances. The thing about that tree, the Nets were supposed to be championship caliber team. They had at points Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden,
Right.
Ben Simmons at some point in time. But do you guys remember when he went in there? Kyrie said, "We don't even need a coach, man."
True. You would see the huddles they would have, and it'd be like these cats over to the side doing their thing.
Yeah,
It was totally, he lost control of that squad.
Mhm.
You know, Derek Fisher coached the Knicks 40 and 96, no playoff appearance in 2 seasons. Oh my goodness. Jason Kidd, see, he has redeemed himself.
yeah.
Yeah, he had no coaching experience when he took over the Nets. But they had 5 playoff appearances, and they did take him to the NBA Finals. He was one of the guys who had success. One of them. Mark Jackson, he started the car, essentially. He turned ignition for the Golden State Warriors. Handed the key over to Steve Kerr, who drove it to championship after championship after championship, which didn't seem quite fair. Doc Rivers, oh my gosh, I didn't know he was that. He's had 20 playoff appearances in 25 seasons.
Wow.
But his last couple of stops have been not good. I mean, the Celtics last won the NBA championship before this one when Doc was the coach. He didn't do.
So
He didn't.
let me ask you this: doesn't at some point, and I understand the dynamics behind it. They had a podcast with LeBron. LeBron probably recommended him to be coach, or strongly recommended. So some of these other people didn't have their first break at being a coach. So why the angst about JJ?
Because they feel like it's a LeBron play.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, it is, but it feels like yes.
Had he done what Doc Rivers did, leave ESPN and go to Milwaukee without having any entanglement with anybody with the Bucks.
How do you know that he didn't? Yeah.
But it looks cleaner.
Yes, it looks cleaner.
Yeah. And doing it that way as opposed to somebody on the team already. He's your boy because you got a podcast with him. Granted, it might not have had anything to do with it. And,
Look, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. That might not have had anything to do with it at all. But it happened. And that was his boy. And he's got the job. So we'll see what happens because he didn't protect Darvin Ham. And that was only Ham's first season, I believe. And it seems like there's a short shelf life for some of these coaches in the NBA. And sometimes it's just not a good fit. Because I'm thinking of your boy in Detroit sitting on all kinds of money after being let go with Phoenix and Detroit.
Monty Williams.
Yes.
He got $85 million to go home. 20 from Phoenix, 65 from Detroit.
Thank you. I think I can learn
to get fired, brother. To get fired.
Oh yeah. Just go home. And I'm quite sure
basketball.
And there are a few others on this list. Dan Issel in Denver, and Dan is an icon in
Denver. Yeah.
In Denver, Quinn Buckner with the Magic Johnson was 5-11 in 1994. Yeah. He was like, man, this ain't me. Paul Silas with the Clippers. Paul Silas was a good coach and had a long career. And actually, he's under 500, but a lot of that came in San Diego. He had some good teams when he was with Cleveland. Well, how about this guy named Bill Russell?
He was all right.
Yeah. And I like the little headline, under success. He said, it's Bill Russell. Do we need to say anything else?
Nothing else about that, but yeah, I didn't know. Some of these people I didn't even know were coaches. Vinny Del Negro, I forgot he coached the Bulls.
Yeah.
He was a great player. Kevin McHale, I thought was really good at Minnesota. He didn't do so well.
Good coach.
Isaiah didn't do. To me, he was just that was an ill fit for him to be coaching anywhere. Larry Bird had success in Indiana. I think he took him to the finals one year against the Lakers. ML Carr, I don't think he had anything. It's the best playoff run, none. So there are a lot of former players who were picked to run squads, and they don't have too many guys who have not been players. Although I understand, what is that today? Kenny Atkinson, I think, is going to be the next head coach of the Cavaliers.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think he was a player. I'm not sure. But he's been around. He's a longtime assistant. I know he was coaching Atlanta at one point with Coach Budenheimer.
And he coached the
New Jersey, Brooklyn, rather.
Right, he coached in Brooklyn.
He's Brooklyn. I think he was out at Golden State and another stop he made. So he's been around. These lifers eventually get these jobs.
But you better, I don't care where you go, Shree, you better have some players. Red Auerbach, Red Holtzman, Bill Russell. If you had all these guys on the bench with this team, the Detroit Pistons ran out there this year, they weren't going to win very many games because they weren't very good. I mean, that's a team that lost 28 straight games. You got to have players, and that's what the draft is all about. Getting good players, although some people say it's not really, because if a kid like Bronny James, who almost everybody says is not NBA ready, gets drafted.
I keep hearing that.
Hey, but because he gets drafted, if he doesn't get drafted, doesn't mean he won't be a NBA player one day.
I think he'll be drafted. Do you doubt he'll be drafted?
Yeah, I think the Lakers are drafting.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And that the whole point, the Lakers
The
would
Lakers
draft
draft him, and then they get JJ. Does he mean JJ got to play him now?
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think the other players are thinking about this coaching and Bronny?
That's a good question because they've been very quiet about this. That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Nobody's saying, what you said, skadoosh, Tim, is that your word? Nobody says skadoosh?
They have said skadoosh, yes.
Skadoosh about it?
Nothing.
Because he could be taking up somebody's spot. But, he may come in his way because you get guys undrafted all the time that come in and go on to have great careers.
And those are undrafted guys who have exhibited ability to come in there. This kid didn't do anything last year in college, and didn't he have a health issue?
Yeah, he had a heart issue.
How many people will take a flyer on anybody else who comes in with a known medical condition?
Yeah, well that shows this is no doubt. See, I don't think, guys, there's any doubt the hiring of JJ Redick and the potential drafting of Bronny James to the Lakers, we haven't seen it happen yet, is a product of LeBron James's cachet with that team.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's not the first. Don't
hate
the
game.
But I'm trying to think of how many really looking at. I guess Austin Rivers might be the last example of this. Or maybe not. Maybe I think there's somebody else's dad is an assistant coach in the NBA right now. In New York, isn't their star the guy with the who came on late last year who was traded from Toronto? Was it Toronto?
Anunoby?
No, not Anunoby. It was the guard. I'm just drawing a blank.
Drake Hart?
Yeah. Not Hart, no, sir. Brunson. Yeah. I'm thinking, isn't his dad an NBA assistant? Is this somebody has a dad?
I think his father played. His dad was Rick Brunson.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely earned his way. That kid was just outstanding this year.
Yeah.
I think you'll always see that. And not just in basketball. You'll see it in football. You see it in track and
Oh, yeah.
field. You see it. Yeah.
It's genetic. They'll just good genes as a kid. The offensive lineman, I think it's Alt is his name. His dad was an All-Pro, and I think they made it maybe about like 5 or 6 kids of great ball players who were drafted this last year in the NFL draft. So yeah, you got a point there. I mean, this always can be like that. I think in baseball, the Boone family, they had 2 kids that played, and dad was a player and a manager. So I mean, it's not unique to the NBA, but it just seems this is a really different situation, given that dad and coach had a podcast together.
What do you think? And I got cut off when I was kind of asking this. What is it harder to evaluate, baseball or basketball, in terms of drafting?
I think quality of play has a lot to do with it. What you play against.
Quality
and I say this, competition. I say that because Tennessee just won the NCAA baseball tournament.
Yeah.
They're the champions. I think 15 of the last 16 champions have come out of the SEC. So if you get players, you play against tough players, you pretty much have a leg up on other folks for the most part. So, and then it's not that hard to evaluate because you got 50 games to look at. Whereas in college basketball, you have like 25 to look at, and it's not always against the best competition. So I think it's a little bit tougher in basketball because you don't know, the kids could be playing out of position, or he's playing a need position for his college, but he's projected to be something else in the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to that game last night, I think it was the guy said there are like 6 potential first-round draft picks on the field last night.
Yeah.
Between Texas, A&M, and Tennessee. That's high level,
right?
Baseball right there. And I agree with you there.
And see,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even with the championship last night, it's bad geography because Texas A&M technically is in the SEC.
Yeah.
Okay. College Station, Texas, on a map is not southeastern United States. Yeah. So, you're bringing in Texas and Oklahoma next year to the SEC as well. So it made me try to recall the days when I was in Houston. There was a Southwest Conference where Arkansas, Texas, and Texas A&M were all in the Southwest Conference and not in the SEC. And there is no more Southwest Conference. It's been swallowed up. So
yeah, I mean, and what's probably even worse is UCLA and Southern Carolina in the Big Ten.
Yeah, so UCLA's volleyball team going, to the East Coast to play Rutgers in volleyball. Does that make sense? They got to do something with that kind of thing, where it's only in football. It's only in football. All these other sports, you can't have your gymnastics team going from Southern Cal up to UConn or whatever, somewhere against Maryland that way, something like that. This doesn't make sense.
Don't make no sense.
None whatsoever, Tree.
So we were talking about the NBA, but what about what's going on with the WNBA?
They are just stealing headlines left and right.
Yeah. It was a rematch between Reese and Clark.
Mm-hmm.
With it looked like Caitlin's team was going to come out on top, or Taste and Angel just went berserk and pulled the game out for Chicago for the Sky. And it was the highest since 20. Oh yeah, they played it down the middle. I think that it was outstanding that Reese, she called herself after the game, "I'm a dog. I get it done." So and she backed it up with how she played. She was outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And they are playing in front of some outstanding crowds wherever they go these days.
Well, Indiana was here
I
last
think,
Friday night, and they had over 19,000 at the at State Farm, which is it's a great crowd for the Hawks, much less the WNBA Atlanta Dream.
yeah. I think it was Tree that had an interesting point about this. Is all this all these conversations about the WNBA, or it may have been you, Tree, or one of our guests. Yeah, are they really talking about basketball? It may have been Kim.
Yeah, I think they're. Go ahead and finish your statement
No,
about them.
is it good they're talking about the WNBA, whether they're talking about these so-called rivalries or not? Every time Caitlin gets knocked to the floor,
I
it's
think Kim was talking about how they didn't really cover it before. And so now people who don't understand the game and how the women play,
exactly.
they wanted to be this, I guess, genteel, don't hurt her. She's fragile. Speaking about Miss Clark, but that's not how they've been playing. And I think people just don't understand. I mean, I didn't watch before, but I get their athletes. My husband has been watching for years, and he's always said, no, they're really good. And they are really good. But people who hadn't watched before, Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese or whoever, they don't understand how the game. They just hear the rivalry. And both are very good players, great players. But it's also, it bothers me too, and I'm sure it bothers the players that have been there, or the ones who are no longer playing. It's like, hey, we've been playing. You don't hear anything about them, but now it's, just these two in this rivalry.
And you're right about that. But I think it was spread around the praise and how the team played on Sunday, as opposed to really getting bogged down into this one storyline. Because I think more so than anything else, the players play, but I think the media feeds these narratives, and people run wild with it. To the point where you got a legislature wanted to pass some bill against somebody because they fouled Clark too hard. I mean, really?
That's just utter nonsense.
And I heard that. That's just crazy talk, Tim. Crazy talk. Yeah, I'm just like, just let them play and see what happens. They got to have a bill for that. I think that's just more self-serving to call attention to that person, whoever that was, to do that. But
I think you're right. You're right about that. I just don't get it where they just can't just talk about the storylines, because there's some really good teams out there, and they're starting to get coverage.
And if they weren't already playing, if they weren't good, they wouldn't be out there.
True enough. I just didn't want to see it devolve into another one of these things. So they're talking about how when's the next meeting. It's like they've got a couple of dozen games in between in their next meeting, and by that time they're gonna be on the back burner. Like I said, when July hits here, college camps open for football, as do pros. And it's the dog days of baseball. So, while the sun is shining, y'all get up there and get out there in it.
But I'll tell you, man, baseball can have those slow periods. But just like last night, watching the title game, I mean, every of the NCAA baseball title game with Texas A&M and Tennessee, every pitch is just
it's crucial.
Yeah. And really the game, it was 6-5 final. It really wasn't that close, but still the intensity level of every freaking pitch. And that was a great venue for that game at Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Although the best interview of the men's World Series was Peyton Manning.
I was going to say he was awesome, wasn't he?
I wouldn't know. I was over there watching track and field while you guys were watching that.
Omaha's been very good to me.
He is a funny guy. We got to get to some track and field too, because
I'm all about the track and field.
Yeah, and I wonder with this momentum the WNBA has, they're going to take 2 weeks off. for
for the
the
Olympics.
yeah.
Okay. It'll build back up as long as Caitlin Clark is breathing.
Yeah.
It'll build back up. This is a 2-week
They don't have a
vacation that
statue
she's
up
gonna
for
get
her
next
yet.
year.
There's no statue up for her yet.
Not yet. They may have one made in Iowa where she's from, made of corn husk, but nothing over there in Indiana yet. So we'll see what's up.
There
Yeah.
will be. There will be one.
Speaking of the Olympics, I got a little something here.
There's so much goodness with the Olympics.
This was just a really fun race. The women's 100 meters with Sha'Carri Richardson and all these sisters about to go at it. And she has a terrible start out of the gate. Yes, I can show you the whole event because trust me, it does not take long.
Nope.
When they get locked in, the track and field events are still.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it seems a lot more emotional, when she finished, as opposed to, I think I described her. I think her demeanor was a little bit different.
But think about this, guys. You worked 4 years to get to this moment before you get to the other moment. Mm-hmm. You got to get through this first. She's gonna stumble out of the gate and just light it up.
Lighten it up.
My goodness.
Looks so easy.
She walked him down.
I'm gonna go back and play the call of this is pretty good too.
Of her first big run in the 100.
Likes to send a message to everybody else very early.
Final heat of the women's 100. Not the best start from Sha'Carri Richardson, but it doesn't matter as she starts to wind up Tamara Davis on the inside, but Sha'Carri looks over 10.88 after that kind of a start. Are you kidding?
Okay, so there are 2 types of stumbles that a sprinter can have. The good kind is a stumble forward. The really bad kind is a stumble to the left or to the right. And Sha'Carri had an awful stumble to the right, and yet she recovers. What me worry and runs.
That is going to be the 100 meters in the Olympics is going to be fantastic.
Right.
When we go there. Are you guys excited about the games?
I am, and I always about the track and field because that's kind of my thing that I like to watch. Tim asked me the other day. He said, well, "Didn't you ask me, Tim, that I was an athlete? Did I run or something?"
Were you an athlete?
No, I said not at all. I just started running not a couple of years ago, maybe 2012 or so. So, and I'm not nearly trying to, it's faster, but now I'm not trying to be that fast. But no, I didn't compete. And I think I love how they can, push their bodies to run, shot put, I was watching the steeplechase, which I still don't understand. I was like, something about that bothers me, the name of it. Women running, they're jumping in the water like they're horses or something. I don't know the history of that, but I watched it all and I love it all.
Oh yeah, and it's exciting to see people doing stuff where you don't normally see them excel. Yeah. We got this brother that's on the swim team now, Charna from so he's from the Rio Grande Valley down there, deep in the heart of Texas. Making the swim team. You got Eubanks and golf on the tennis team.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
You got Lyles taking the men's 100. So I mean, our track athletes are gonna excel. They're gonna show out. That's an exciting thing to watch those guys and girls go at it against the best in the world. But the thing about it is, the rest of the world's caught up to us so much that there's real competition against from other countries. especially when we talk about basketball. Because everybody's playing pros, these people are going to their different countries and playing ball. Canada's going to be loaded.
Hey, guys, look at the draft tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
The international flavor of that draft tomorrow.
I noticed that.
Yeah, that's the thing where, the game is becoming global. I understand there's rumblings that the NBA is talking about expansion internationally. I keep thinking about these different times. I mean, going from West Coast to East Coast is a deal. You talk about going over to, probably to Mexico or South America or Europe. You're getting up in the middle of the night watching your team play, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you will. I could, but will I?
I think London is the logical place, right?
Right. London and Paris are logical spots for it.
Yeah.
Mexico City is probably another one. So those are three places I would think that they would want to try to expand to if they're going to do it. I won't get up in the middle of the night for NBA, I'll tell you that. But there are some sports I will, because I know for the last Olympics, the Winter Olympics, I did rise and shine to watch curling. Because that sport fascinates me to no end. They get out there.
Serious, man?
I am
curling.
Curling. They get out there with those brooms and hit those.
Right?
I'm like,
when we lived in Athens, there was this guy. We used to go to this restaurant, and this guy was like crazy about curling, and I was just like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
It is.
What do you love about curling?
Oh my God! It's the idea that there's a strategy to it. It's not like you just go up there and knock those rocks out the way with that. Get that broom out there, sweep away, and then knock the rock out of the way. I don't see where these people are sitting there consulting about how to knock this rock out of the way.
Hey guys, is pickleball an Olympic sport this year?
No, but you know what breakdancing is?
You're kidding.
I think I saw breakdancing is, and I love breakdancing, but
breakdancing is an Olympic sport.
I think I saw that just recently. Look it up, Tim. Look it up.
We'll do it.
Well, it's only a matter of time before pickleball becomes an Olympic sport.
Probably.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm going to look it up right quick. Are you looking it up, Tim?
I'm looking. It says breaking is the only Olympic sport that features both a DJ and an MC.
Right?
They go to breakdance in Paris.
I cannot freaking wait for that.
Wow. Well, hey, it comes here in 28.
What's next? Twerking?
Yes. We'll have Coach Miley Cyrus for the twerking.
No. What's my man? Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell.
Two Live Crew.
What's next? Rapping? How about breakdancing? How's that a sport? I guess, sure. It's there. They're doing it.
And they bring something like that up.
Yeah, some of the sports are kind of quirky.
What else is quirky besides breakdancing? And I don't know. Again, I love breakdancing, so I'm not going to say it's quirky. It's a skill.
That's right at the top of it.
It's a skill. Can you do it? Tim, were you breakdancing back in the day?
Here we go. Tug of war is an Olympic sport.
You are kidding me.
Yes, tug of war.
You are kidding me, man.
You mean the rope thing in the back and forth?
The rope thing. Yes.
Wow. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Time out. Here we go. Live pigeon shooting. Not like not the clays. They're gonna have
the clay pigeons. No.
The real ones.
No.
These gold medals, man.
Not the
the gold medals losing its luster with some of this stuff, man.
Real pigeons? They're killing real pigeons?
Real pigeons.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't feel good about it.
The pigeons feel. How you feel about it?
Like the part that I run, they're like pigeons, ducks, geese, and I'm like, And they all get along together. No, there's like whenever I walk by or run by them, I was thinking, how come people can't get along like that?
Oh, but before we got to get out of here, we were talking about the game growing international. Speaking of growing, the USA team may have to deal with this young lady
What's that?
In upcoming years out of China.
Oh,
Zhang
oh
Zhu,
my God, I cannot wait.
7-3.
Look at that. Oh. She doesn't look quite the athlete yet.
No, I'm just saying they can't
teach height.
No, they can't.
That's a walk.
Why is it undefendable? Yeah, she's just like, how old is she? I can't remember.
17, I believe.
17, yeah.
In this game, she had 36 points.
Yeah, just lay it up there.
That's exactly what that's all she did, laying it up.
She ain't got to do nothing. But here,
she reminds me of Zach Edey at Purdue.
You know, nobody's even talking about him for tomorrow night.
Nope.
I can't wait for this one.
You know, I think we may have talked about this before, but I really thought that Matt Painter, the coach at Purdue, who is a good basketball coach, did she
took that on
rebound. Hands high, baby. Keep your hands high.
Yeah.
I thought he did
Edey wrong.
Edey a disservice, man.
By not developing the game?
No, you know, they ran through the Big Ten Conference this year, and they had a lot of blowout games. Why not move him out on the court? I'm telling you, I don't think Edey took a shot outside of 3 feet the entire season. No. How about moving him out 15 feet in some of these blowouts? Zach, put 4 or 5 of those up, man. Show these guys what you can do. Because in Chicago, he's actually been shooting some of those perimeter shots. But I
was going to ask you, he was doing it at the combine? He was doing it?
At the combine. But I think a really good coach looking out for the future of his player will say, Zach, you know, they're going to want you to do some of these things. So we're going to work on some of these 5 minutes in a blowout game. I mean, you're up 25, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but he wanted to make sure he won, I guess.
There you go.
Hey, we've reached our witching hour, and I still have a house here with the storm blowing through. So we will try to get together and do this again next week. And Tree, we're going to work on that special assignment that we talked about before the show came on. So
there's a special assignment.
Yeah.
Forgot already.
Yeah.
Before Tim joined.
We're going to look at some fashion stuff next week.
Yes.
So I might even dress up before I come on.
Oh, awesome. I can't wait to see what your fit will be.
Yeah.
We're too lazy to say outfit. Now we just say fits.
See, that shows you how behind the times I am. No clue on that.
Yes. A special edition. We should dress up for the draft edition. No?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to think, man, where can I get me a lime green suit?
Hey, reach into your closet, in the back of the closet.
This time of year, it's not Easter. I can't look it up.
Just reach in the back of your closet. You know it's there. Something.
Oh, that's the one that the polyester pants with the baby blue, alternating baby blue and gray diamonds. So I got those.
You know, we don't need to see. We just need to see from here up. So.
Gotcha.
We're going to get out of here. Somebody's going to get it. There will be some star players that come out of this draft.
Hey, I can't wait.
Hopefully one of them lands here.
Yeah, we'll see who gets them tomorrow. But for Tim Turner and Tree McDougal, I'm Rick Hampton. We'll do it again next week. Take care, everybody.
All right. Be kind.
Good night.